Hello, this is Capture Fail, and I'm nearly 70 years old. I've been a gamer all my life, but I now have to search for ways of playing that allow for my slower reactions in both my mind and my hands. So I've made this guide to how to play Elder Scrolls Online with that sort of capability. This is going to be a Magicka Templar using mostly the Puncturing Sweeps ability. Now, one of the first things I did was to reverse the functionality of the triggers and the bumpers on my controller, which is Xbox control for PC. So two of the abilities will now be on the triggers, and the bumpers will be used for light and heavy attacks if I ever use them. I hardly ever do. And the left bumper will be for blocking. Now, one of the ways I'm slow is reacting to those messages that come up near the bottom of the screen. Hit this to block, or if you get crowd controlled. I know to hit both of the triggers, it will be both the bumpers for me, to get out of crowd control once you're in it, but I can't react to much of it. Sometimes those red patches on the ground are there for long enough before the actual hit for you to get out of it. But because I will not be able to dodge too many things, now and then my healing will need a top up. The puncturing strikes will heal as I go, heal as I hit, but I will need the Templar's healing line, or just the lowest level heal. So that will be on my left trigger, and the puncturing strikes will be on my right trigger. So I'm just sorting out my initial skills and inventory. I skipped the tutorial, so I've only just created this character. It sort of looks like me if it was wearing glasses, although my beard's not quite that ragged. So rushed ceremony will get used rarely. Everything else will be puncturing strikes. And since it'll be on my right trigger, it'll be like playing Skyrim, running around pumping the right trigger. So I have to rearrange the abilities from where it's putting them by default. The X, Y, and B buttons will be tied to other skills, but I won't be using them. So I'll eventually put things into those slots that achieve something just by being slotted. Now I'm having to start off with a bow. I'll be holding a destruction staff, largely for the passive skills you can get in that line, so I will have to slot a staff ability once I actually get one. But Eagle Strand, I'm starting off on the island. All I'm going to do here on this island, I'm just testing the buttons there, testing the triggers. So that was my heal with the left trigger. Now all I'm going to do on this island is pick up the 2 easy sky shards, and then I'm going to go to the mainland, Vulkhel Guard. I chose the Ordinary Dominion start because it's the one I'm most familiar with. But everything I do in this video, there's an equivalent for it in the other Alliance starts. This whole first video will really be just setting up my character with all that he needs. I'll be doing enough adventuring, just enough to get to level 6 and get my crafting going. After that, I'll be going off to adventure in earnest in Vvardenfell. Because the other thing about being an old gamer is that I'm very familiar with the earlier Elder Scrolls games. So starting with Morrowind, the game, I'm going to go to the areas that I'm familiar with and familiar with their lore. But that was one sky shard, and I've got to ride right up to the top of the hill for the other one, and that's where the teleporter is anyway. Yes, I'll do Vvardenfell, everything I can on Vvardenfell, and then the bits that are in Oblivion. I'm not going to Cyrodiil proper, where all the PvP is, but I'll be going to Leyawiin, Skingrad, Anvil, and then eventually move on to areas that are part of Skyrim. Okay. Second Sky Shard. I've got spare skill points at the moment because I just haven't picked up the skills that I want to add them to. But I've just got to get down to the teleporter here. I mean, I could come back much later and do the rest of the adventuring here since I've been here. But as I said, I'll go to Daggerfall and do things around there. But mainly I'll be doing the areas from Elder Scrolls 3, 4 and 5. So we're back, and I just wandered around until the prophet popped up. I'm going to go and do the first part of that main plot, but I'll do that without recording it because it's a long thing with no fighting in it. Doesn't achieve anything except getting you some experience and some low-level items. But there's also experience for collecting my first house, or the ability to have it. And now I've gone up. Level 4. So just a little bit of gear there. And I'm a Magicka character. All my points were going to Magicka to make my damage with puncturing strikes as high as possible. So I went through the list there. There's nothing to put points on yet. Will be when I can use passives in the lines I'm interested in, or morphs for the 2 skills that I actually use. Right. Do just the start of the Auridon questing, just what's within this town here with Vulkhel Guard. Again, for the sole purpose of getting myself to level 6 and getting my crafting set up before I go and start Vvardenfell. So there's this captain.
What do you want?
You can do her quest without fighting if you're careful towards the end of it. And 2 people to speak to for the main quest. So I'm just going to try and do all the things I'm going to do in this town in a geographical order that makes sense, doing a sort of couple of circles around the town. So I won't go and see the steward yet. Just report to him and then start looking for the missing sailors. I know where they are. The building is along the left here. And I'll be joining the guilds, but I'll have to go back later to them to find the Millenith, who's going to teach me my initial crafting. I'm only going to do Clothier and Woodworker for staffs and light armour. Because one of the other things I cannot do fast, incidentally, although I have use of both of my hands, I do have some arthritis in my fingers. So drinking potions I cannot do quickly enough. So as with the dodging, I'm going to need my healing spell to make up for that. But most of my healing will come from the morph of Puncturing Strikes. Now, one of the sailors is here, but there's another one that needs help to find. But while I'm up on this platform, have a look into the Fighters Guild, join it. And there's only one bookshelf in here. When I'm starting off a character like this, I go around and look at every bookshelf. But as you know, if you play the game, you get diminishing returns with bookshelves. It becomes very rare that you find a book that you haven't already read. But now that I've got Fighters Guild, I'm using one of my spare points for the ability to intimidate people, which can make a big difference in quite a few things. And similarly, I'll get Persuasion from the Mages Guild and join that. Mages Guild has a lot more bookshelves. I'm recording this narration after the event, or watching the video, but it's only because it's the starter and I'm going to be talking about the purpose of this whole series. From the next video, I'll be doing the commentary live. Persuasive will. Here we are, persuasion. And I'm now going around finding all the bookshelves. If I find one that gives me the destruction staff skill, it'll save me having to obtain it by making one first and then killing something with it.
Disaster will be your only reward.
In the tutorial long ago, in Cold Harbour, you used to have a big selection of weapons to choose from, but they got rid of that. You only have the choices that I had when the character started. No staves, just bow and a couple of melee weapons. In fact, I think even the bow is only given to you at the end of the tutorial. Now I want to get the Sky Shard in this building now, because at a certain point they won't let me in until I go get a disguise. So it's easier to grab it now, and also to grab all the bookshelves in here. Now this, I call it 1.5 button build because the second one is used so rarely. It's for older people like me, those who have mobility issues. Like I have a small mobility issue because of my arthritis. I mean, I'm not completely sort of cramped up with it, but it's there. There's a YouTuber. I'm definitely going to have to put a link to his account. And just as my fast reactions are going, my memory is also going, so I can't remember his name right now, but he has done quite a few mobility or accessibility builds. And this character, this Templar, when it gets to level 50, will probably look pretty much like his simplest build, his one-button build. So I'm very grateful to him, but he only shows you how to build it with 50th level gear and champion points and so on. I'm showing how to level up the character from the start. So it's both guilds, the Easy Sky Shard, now Degale is over the back. There's a whole lot of opposition near Degale, but if you choose the right path, you can slip between them, especially if you stealth, but that's not really necessary. Just have to keep off the beach as long as possible. A bit further on, I have to remember that if I want to draw my weapon, not to do the right trigger, but to do the right bumper, because I've swapped them over. I'm only just starting with the trigger and bumper started. I've played this character before using the right bumper as my main attack and spamming that, but that can be still a little hard on the fingers. So I'm trying out now for the first time using the trigger. Well, I spotted that maple. I know I will need some later. Where'd it go? It's not glowing yet because I don't have the woodworking ability. Now I'm heading due north because in this direction is the Lady Standing Stone. The Lady is a good one to start with. I can probably get a better one later when I find one. But here in sort of southern Oregon, Lady is what you can get easily, and it's a bit of defense, some resistance. So I've got to go through Dill's Claim, but I don't think, unless I come back here to the campaign in Oregon generally, I don't think I'll ever be going in there. I just know it's on the way to the Lady Stone. I think the stones near Davon's Watch over in the mainland of Morrowind tend to be a lot more guarded by creatures than here. Lady is easy to get. And also, just a bit further on to the north is another teleporter, so I'll be able to get back to town quickly. Having tagged it could come in useful later on. So I just go a little further on and there you see it on the compass at the top. I'm going to assume some people don't know Elder Scrolls Online well, but some do. that are watching this, particularly if they're looking for, they've got the same problems as I do or worse, and are looking for a game to play. Certainly in the way of MMOs, this is it. Now, I accidentally teleported to the housing and not the shrine outside. This is going to be far from a skilled playthrough. It's going to be a very example of an unskilled playthrough where I make a lot of mistakes like that. Not lining up the cursor to the right place, etc. Always a lot of players hanging around here. Get challenged to duels a lot, which I wouldn't have a chance of winning. Now I've got to report to the captain that I found all the sailors.
Well, at least. Oh, this should be so sick.
I have to report to him all of or to her, all of the excuses that they gave me. But that put me up in some skills. Rank 4 already in my most important skill. Yeah. This other person for the Auridon main quest. This is going to make me fight just one creature. I still don't have a distraction staff, so I'll be drawing a bow, but not using any bow skills. Now this poison crate is always the same one. It's always the upper one here. You can shortcut all that searching. And this guy spawns over at the corner of the building here. And there I go with my puncturing strikes. It's just puncturing at this stage. So I report this in, and then I've got to go and see the corrupt
Did you find anything?
captain,
A uniform?
guard captain. A stun. It shows itself in little ways at first.
Tell me
Mostly that she's not really interested in what I've got to say. Even though there's a plot against the Queen on. She says just go and see someone else, and they trick me into tricking someone else.
Kindly step. I need him.
Get back! Why should I trust
He
my...
won't let anyone in, but he lets me in because I'm not a guard. But the guards double cross him and me.
You're no god. They're coming.
Good work, citizen.
Good work, citizen.
Traitors.
There's no
Shut your
bookshelves
mouth.
in
You're
here.
under arrest.
I live only to serve the
But that's what the character looks like again.
Baritale.
Be different as soon as I have a light armor hat.
Don't worry. Good call. I have to. She sent word.
Right, that's level 5. I need another level to get my crafting going. I've now got racial skills to add points into. Breton. Yeah, increase max Magicka. I spent a point on that. Going up, looking at the other things. Don't want those weapons. Adric Spear, I have the second rank ability for that available, but what's the point in spending any points on it where I'm never going to use it? 2 skills, that's all. I'll never use any of the active staff skills, only the passive ones. And of course, if worst comes to the worst, doing hitting the bumpers to do heavy attack or two with the staff will get me some magicka back if I run out. And it'll be more important that it does that than any damage it happens to do.
Hold.
Right, here's that captain, and
Stop.
totally betrayed. I found out too much. I got arrested.
Ah,
The corrupt
Razumdar's
cops.
new friend. It is as this one, the captain happened. Raz need
Now, Razumdar, I'd know him better if I'd done the island that I started
out of
on.
here. Save the queen. You have questions? You have. It is some. Is there anything else?
But he's
this one
definitely an Oridan character. First time I did this, I expected to have to fight my way past guards at this point. Escaping the jail, but apparently there are no guards. But it wouldn't be an Elder Scrolls game if you didn't escape from jail somewhere near the start. Oh, of course, in the tutorial, you're escaping from a cell in hell, in effect. Now, I've cut out the whole first stage of the game's main plot because it's just a lot of running around and talking with no fighting, with no advancing. I did it just for the experience points to get me towards level 6. Now, it has given me a little bit of gear. Rush Ceremony can now be morphed. Puncturing Strikes can now be morphed. Excellent. If I've got a spare point, sort out all the new gear first. I've got a couple of glyphs to add to the first gear that I make. Decided not to use this Magicka ring to keep the ones that give me health until I've got 2 other rings. Now the skills. Adric Spear, here we go. Puncturing Strikes can now go up to Puncturing Sweep. You heal for a percentage of the damage done. And that is what makes this a near 1-button build and still viable. Now I've improved my 1 healing spell as well. So that will be on the left trigger. And the triggers are the easiest things to work when your hands are not the best. Right, back on the outside. I've only got to go around the corner here, and the Prophet will ask me to progress the main plot further. Of course, when the game was new, you had to go up to new levels before that sort of prompting happened to you. But now with what they call Tamriel Unlimited, where everything levels up with you, you can go straight through the main plot, all in a row, if you want, because even the highest or the last parts of it will have monsters close to your level. But that won't be my adventuring priority.
The green take you.
Yeah, because I'm not level 6 yet, I have to do one more thing, progress the Oridan plot a bit more. Yeah, That was me hitting a trigger to get off my horse. And I've got to remember it's the bumpers now. Oh, that's the wrong person. Yeah, talk to Eshaba. And this is the first time I've spoken to anyone who's got a store, so I sold off a bit of the starting gear. Had to spend 1 gold for repairs. But I can get rid of the soul shriven stuff. And the melee weapons. And that ring, okay. I forgot to put the disguise on. I was looking for the appearance section in the inventory. No, I haven't put it on yet. That's my nearly septuagenarian memory. Septuagenarian. Okay, I don't need any more side quests from Auridon. I'm pretty sure just doing this next stage, but we'll progress it. But I do want guild quests. So this is the one that's going to send me to find Merrick and Alif nearby.
Comrade, I know you'll change.
And
the
there'll
river's
be one
course,
to pick
comrade.
up from the
They're
Mages Guild as
investigating the
well.
coastline, down the beach.
So usually there's someone hanging around outside when the guild quests are ready to progress. It seems as though you do still need to gain levels or perhaps some particular skill or something for the guild quest line to progress, not like the main one. But I'll be doing that before too long, entering the ruins, because there's a lot more bookshelves and some other good things in that delve. Yeah, I've got the disguise on, so I was allowed in. The battle reeve knows that the guard captain is a traitor.
Explain yourself. Razum. The guard captain?
A moment, Anselmo. I would hear what this one has to say.
He must have already known it, because he wouldn't just believe a stranger's word otherwise.
Please disregard what was
The
said.
Queen.
Trostendar was mentioned. He acts on my behalf. If you won't
Now I'm going to do the first lot of
As you will.
substantial
You are a capable
fighting.
woman, but you must be wary. You, come with me. We'll investigate the
Recall
temple
is
together.
3 pairs of assassins, and then the boss, the guard captain herself. Temple of Auriel. In the expansion to Skyrim, Dawnguard, you have to find a Temple of Auriel and get the bow of
What's
Auriel.
happened here?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, spell it with a hyphen here.
I tried to stop them. Watch out.
These are cupboards, not bookshelves. Don't have to worry about that. And she just appears up in the balcony there. Now I'm getting ready to fight where the 2
Come down here and face
assassins will pop
Our
up.
queen has betrayed us. I wanted her head.
I had to draw my bow.
Kill
Still all I've got. Just need my crafting to get my first staff. And now I'm hitting both of them, puncturing sweeps and healing up at the same time.
So be it, Astanya.
There's a lot of classes. You need one spammable that usually does single target damage, something else for AoE, and something else for buffing, which a thing that I don't have the dexterity to worry about.
The Dominion will last
Won't be
long
using
after
any
your
buffs.
corpse cools. Now come down here and face your death.
There's actually two of these assassins, but they're not together. Now I am running low on Magicka. I'm having to wait for a bit of magic to come back here. Now I started using light and heavy attacks. But of course, since it's a bow I've got, they give me stamina. Useless. I really need that crafting. Certainly didn't want to go and adventure in Vvardenfell with the wrong weapon. But I'm wearing her down.
We need to report back to
My Magicka may be disappearing, but my health is not. But I need more light armor also to get more Magicka and to recover it faster. Okay, report to the Queen, but I don't take her next quest. I don't need it.
Well, Astanya.
The plot was real,
Excellent.
so I'll just take her gift is heavy armour.
I'm a...
I'll just take that to sell. And there we are, level 6. That's what I've been waiting for. And now I can go to the crafting centre. I used that experience scroll straight away. Just doing my level 6 level up. I've got 2 points to use on the 2 crafting skills I'm going to use. Slottable items, there's that experience scroll. And that's a medium helmet. That's no good, but I will be able to break it down for experience as a Clothier. Okay. And I destroy the marine disguise so I can see my real gear no matter where I am. Now off to the crafting centre, and I'll need Milanith first, and she'll be up in the Fighters Guild.
Did you come here for crafting?
Once I've spoken to her here, she'll move around to more convenient places.
Clothiers and woodworkers. Excellent. Let me know if you
Complete
have some
that
time.
quest.
I can train and certify you in something else. If you convince me, you.
I go for Clothier first.
I spotted some
Raw jute. And I've already got 9 of them. That's because I have a subscription, ESO Plus, whatever it's called. That means all my characters have a common crafting ingredients bag. So stuff that I've picked up on previous characters is available to me. But I'll still collect all 4 of these jutes to use later. raw materials are always the limiting factor on your crafting. I do belong to a guild, which is special for solo players, but I haven't been able to find any traders from that guild. Right, that's it. That's it for the jute. It's funny how cotton, you think of as the most basic thing for cloth, is the third rank of material that you use. That's levels 24 to 34. So here's Milanith in the crafting centre.
Raw jute. Take the raw jute. If you're in a guild.
Refine it. I've got some raw stuff of all different kinds. And now I've got to create something specific. For this, it's
you shouldn't need much refined jute. Don't forget
not cloth, made from the jute.
If you're working in cloth or leather, I'm your man.
I'm going to get some of my own race's racial material, which is molybdenum for Bretons. Get about 5 of them when I haven't got that much money. But I tend to find I've got tons of money in this game. I spend it on teleporting around and on topping up those racial materials. Now, homespun gloves, that's what I've got to do. Now, since I'm going to keep it, I'm getting that level indicator there up to 6, highest that I can wear. But when I have to make a bow, I'm just going to make it level 1 because I'll be destructing it straight away. Don't want to keep it. Now, deconstruct. I'll have a few things for this. Anything that is medium armour, I'll be deconstructing. The homespun gloves I will keep. Now, I can report to her here.
Already done. Let me know if you
Now I'm certified, I'll see how much else I can make.
Absolutely. There's a place near.
Oh, but I'm just getting her to start me on the woodwork questing. Rough maple, I've nearly got enough of that too. But I'm just checking my gear. My chest is light. My hands I just built. That, because I'll wear that. And I'll use one of my main quest glyphs to make it a bit better. Check the legs, that's light as well. And just made sure I don't have anything better because I can't use the heavy stuff. And I used the other glyph. So some additions to health. Now, I should be able to make at least one more piece. I'm going to go for a hat. Again, I want it to be level 6. I've got the materials. That required 7 jute though, so I now don't have enough for another level 6 item. Since I've got empty slots, I could have made some level 1 stuff, but I thought it was not worth bothering. I just keep the jute, get a bit more and get something better. So I'll put that on. Covering my bald head. I look like the bearded mage kind of character. That suits me. Clothing. I can get the keen eye to pick out jute and its successors. And the same with the wood. I get a little glow over any logs I happen to go past. Or scrap wood, sometimes it's scrap wood you find. Broken wagon wheels, stuff like that. But, got to continue with the carpentry. Now the maple I've got to find is further away. Now that I've killed the guard captain, I'm allowed to ride through here again without a disguise. I can't take a shortcut. I've got to go just outside the city limits. Okay, and you see the glow. Rough maple, it's got to become sanded. The axe comes free and doesn't show up in your inventory. You've always got one. Not like the pickaxes or the woodsman's axes in Skyrim. And the same goes for other tools for gathering raw materials. Right, now I have to go and make myself. Oh, I did pick up one destruction staff. I forgot to point that out. In that last fight, one of the assassins was holding an ice staff. Well, I'd rather have a lightning staff. Although between fire and lightning, I usually keep the highest damage one I can use. But use should very much be in air quotes, because it's there maybe to get me a bit of magicka back, nothing else. Now Millenith moves to where the carpentry table is, near the Fighters Guild. So that's the maple. And I've got to refine that as before. Rough maple becomes sanded maple. Got 2 lots of it, because I think it only happens 10 at a time.
Bring some rough. I prefer to work with maple.
And now she wants me to make a useless bow. Now you see there's 2 tabs on this because the shields are wooden as well. You've got to remember to look at that when I'm looking for things to deconstruct. So sanded maple, and I am making a level 1. Use as little as possible because I just show her I've got it and then I deconstruct it.
Now we can.
Deconstruct 1 maple bow. And now I'm
I've seen everything.
certified in the 2 crafts
There's
that I
only
want.
one more prove you know
So,
your way around a
I'm going to now see if I can make myself a better distraction staff than the one I've got. I'll select lightning staff, move the level back up to 6, and I do have enough maple and molybdenum, so I can make that, and it is better than the one I got off of the assassin. Yep. 1013, 1060. So now I've got, I don't think you can deconstruct Sentinel's Lash. I think you have to throw that away. It might sell, I suppose. No, it would have come up before. So that's pretty useless. But there's only that one thing that I can do with the woodwork. And I've finished. I'm completely prepared now to go and start adventuring. Finished all the preparation work. So I'll just show you the riding and teleporting to where I want to start, which is at Seydaneen, where you start the Morrowind game. So do Daggerfall later, but we're going to go up to Elder Scrolls 3 and go to all the places in that game. And there'll be a delve not far from Seydaneen that I can do. A little quest on an island, and I'll be starting the main quest for Vvardenfell. There you go. Luckily it's not like the Rift or East March where you've got to go somewhere else and take a boat. Here I am at Seydaneen. So I'll just walk into the village and end this video. And it looks just like the Morrowind game.
What is it?
Seydaneen discovered. Bye.